thank you so much for being here with us this morning. We're at T.A. Brown Elementary to talk about the incident that took place earlier this morning. First, we're going to have our Chief of Police, Wayne Sneed, who's going to give a briefing on the incident, followed by our Superintendent, Matthias Segura, who's going to talk a little bit about the school day and what to expect moving forward.
Good morning. My name is Wayne Sneed, Chief of Police for Austin ISD Police Department. This morning, about 1:17 a.m., our dispatcher received an alarm call. At that point in time, she notified the Austin Police Department, who arrived about 1:19 a.m. And discovered that a vehicle had driven into the front doors of the T.A. Brown Elementary School. The driver of the vehicle was on site when the officers arrived. They were able to take the individual driver into custody without any incident. And that's pretty much it. The investigation is still ongoing at this time.
Do you have any reason?
Yeah.
Do you have any reason to believe that they were intoxicated or under any type of influence?
As I said, the investigation is going on. They were taken to the hospital and have been released at that particular point in time. No significant injuries. So investigation is still ongoing. We don't have a motive at this particular point in time.
Do you think it was intentional or, again, like any impairment?
I'm not in a position to speculate a person's intentions. I just can tell you the facts about what we know at this point in time, and the investigation continues. So as we get more information, we'll be able to provide more for you.
Did they perform a sobriety test or a full sobriety test or anything like that?
There wasn't a sobriety test, so they were not suspected of intoxication at the time of the incident.
He was injured? The driver was
Minor injuries. Minor injuries, yes.
And then do you know how the vehicle was able to get up there, or how it entered or anything?
It's pretty simple. You can see kind of the landscape and just to drive up over the curb and drive through.
Did the vehicle completely inside the building, or just
Yes, sir.
it was completely in the building?
Yes, sir.
And then,
Any other questions for the chief before we get to the superintendent?
Was the driver still in the vehicle at the time?
No, not at the time the police arrived. They were sitting outside.
They were outside?
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, you probably said this. I just want to make sure I got it right. You don't know if it was intentional or not?
We cannot. At this time, I'd be speculating as to what the intent was. We have not came to a motive, which means the person hadn't said, "Hey, this is why this happened," or "This is why I did this."
I guess, did they also claim it was an accident or anything like that? Or?
There was no. They didn't say much of anything at this point. They have not said much.
Do we know if a student went to school here, or if the person was involved with the school at all?
The person is a teacher.
And you said they were released. Is that person in custody?
They're in custody.
They are in custody.
Yes.
And do we know charges yet?
Not at this time. We have not formulated charges. There's a lot of pieces to any type of criminal charge. You have to prove up intent. So the investigation is ongoing, and we'll have more information at a later point.
And how unusual is it for something like this to happen at a school and for it to have been so far back?
Not common.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on with the superintendent's remarks, and then we'll take questions from the superintendent.
Grab your. Got all the clips, all the things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wrong one. There it goes. Thank you.
Can they be by each other?
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
Feel free to just put it in the pocket. This is kind of hard to get.
Yeah, no problem. You ready? All right. Good morning. My name is Matthias Segura. I'm the superintendent for the Austin Independent School District. Just kind of here to share what our families can expect here at T.A. Brown. For everybody's kind of awareness, I was informed around 3 o'clock this morning of the incident. At that point, we began to develop a plan to receive students this morning. It included a combination of folks from counseling, from teaching, leading, and learning, from talent and strategy, as well as our officers. We also mobilized our service center folks and construction management team to begin repairs and cleaning out the area to ensure that it was a safe space. We are going to be blocking it down for an extended period of time as we move to the process of repairing the entrance. And so this morning we did reroute students that were dropped off or on buses to the cafeteria. At that point, we had a conversation with all of the educators in the school, all the staff, in fact, in the school, to talk about kind of what they could expect throughout the day. Our goal is to have our students have an experience like they would any other day at TA Brown. We are going to be working through details for the dismissal process over the next couple hours, but at this point, you know, everybody inside is functioning and doing incredibly well. And happy to answer any questions that you have at this point.
Yeah, I mean, so pretty big revelation that it was a teacher. What message do you have to the community, to the parents about that? You know, one of their own who's teaching their children has caused this incident.
You know, it's one of those things where, you know, we share facts. We certainly recognize that as information becomes available, you know, we will communicate with staff. For us, you know, because it is identified as a staff person, we want to make sure they're supported to the best of our abilities. You know, and we're going to be really sensitive to it. It's a difficult situation for us. We recognize that it is, and so we're going to treat it with the utmost care. But, you know, we do recognize that a safety issue did occur last night, and we're addressing that in accordance with the policies.
And what policies, I guess, would be involved in this?
Well, so one of the things that we look at is, you know, different protocols. One of the questions we had this morning is, should we shut down school or should we not? So we have a process where we bring everybody together, we plan, we look at drop-off, dismissal, how we're going to provide support, counseling support for our students, how we're going to provide counseling support to our staff. You know, as I mentioned, you know, because it is a staff person, I want to make sure that our staff in the building have supports, not only today and tomorrow, but for the next several weeks, depending on how long this goes. So all of that is part of our process, so that when students and when staff arrive, we are prepared to receive them and support them, you know, for the next, you know, many days.
Can you tell us anything about this staff member? Was it at like a grade level or anything like a
No,
subject?
unfortunately, I can't at this point. I can't at this point.
And it was definitely someone who taught here? Or just
I'm sorry?
And it's a teacher who taught here?
It is a staff person at TA Brown, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And was school delayed, or was anything affected?
No, actually, because of when we found out, as Chief said, it was, you know, we had staff on site, officers on site, just right after 1 o'clock. Lieutenant Pickford was here. We kind of got everybody mobilized. So between 3:30 and 5, the plan was pretty well formulated. We met on site early in the 6 o'clock hour to make sure everybody understood what their role was. That allowed us to kind of adjust the entrance so that students could come into the building safely, and allowed us time to engage with staff so that they understood what the plan was. So from a student's perspective, it's a very normal day. From our staff perspective, it's a little bit different, but we're providing support to make sure that they have what they need to support our students.
Was there any damage done inside the building?
Nothing structural. So one thing that I definitely want to point out is when you look at the building itself, we did do a brief assessment. There was nothing structural. It was all kind of glass and doorways. Some minor damage to the rails that kind of are there to support folks coming down the steps. We've since removed them, made them flush, and really trying to remove all debris. So not a lot of structural damage at all, which is one of the reasons that we are comfortable having class this morning. Most of it was superficial and, you know, glass and kind of entranceway material. And all of that's since been removed.